Welcome to the quiz show that demands nothing less than perfection. Behind this screen are 4 contestants who'll be hoping their knowledge is flawless because one single mistake could give the game away. This is perfection. Hello and welcome to Perfection, the quiz show where only perfect play is good enough. Behind me are the contestants. We call them the usual suspects. They're in our isolation room. In a moment, we'll find out which one of them has been randomly selected to join me here to play Perfection. They will then face a series of true or false statements. For example, if I said Hamlet has the most lines of any Shakespeare play, would you say that's true or false? Well, if you'd said true, I can tell you you'd be right. Answering true or false might seem easy, but if the contestant gets a single answer wrong, their opponents, the usual suspects, will be allowed into the game to capitalise on their mistakes. Each usual suspect will play a maximum of 8 games, so they will need to think carefully and strategically about how to play the perfect game and when to come down to help. So you know how the game works. Let's meet the usual suspects.
Hi, my name's Andy. I'm a telecommunications engineer from Reading, and this is my first game.
Hi, I'm Alistair. I'm from Brighton. I'm a website editor, and this is my first game.
Hi, I'm Joe. I'm originally from Stockport, but now live in Birmingham. I'm a shop manager, and this is my second game.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm from Manchester. I'm a lab technician, and this is my 7th game.
Best of luck as we now find out which one of you has been randomly picked to play Perfection. Alistair, it's you. Please come down and join me. Alistair, welcome to the game. I'm fascinated, in your bio, you say that you lived in Japan for a while, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I lived in a small town in the middle of nowhere, really, I suppose.
Is it true that you used to fib about certain things and to sort of talk up your background when you were in Japan?
Not exactly.
So you didn't ever claim that, for example, that you'd played football with David Beckham?
I basically talked about the World Cup that was going on at the time, and in Japanese, the expression to know can either mean you're aware of something or you actually physically know the people. And so they're asking if I knew David Beckham, and I said, oh, yeah, you know, I know who he is. And they thought I meant I knew him personally. So I started saying, listing all these players that I knew, and they were getting really excited and bringing in other teachers and the kids going, this guy used to play for Manchester United and play for England. And at that point, I realised that I'd gone a bit too far, but I didn't want to backtrack and embarrass them. So I just said, oh, yeah, you know. Then I decided to quit the game and decided to teach English.
Yes. OK, well, let's get on. Alistair, it is now you versus the usual suspects. They were your teammates. They're now your enemies. Their job is to stop you from winning the prize fund because your failure will mean the prize money rolls over to the next game where one of them could be sitting here playing for a bigger total. Now, every game on Perfection is worth £1,000. Here's the fantastic news for you. Nobody's won the last 13 games. The prize fund currently stands at £14,000. So do you have something earmarked for that cash?
Yeah, I'm getting married in about 6 months, so I want to put it towards a honeymoon, really. And
congratulations.
Thanks.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Best of luck. Here's how the game works. You'll play 3 rounds and then a final. Every round that you achieve perfection will make the final easier for you. However, if your performance is anything less than perfect, the usual suspects here will have a chance to step in and steal the round, making the final that much harder for you. More of that to follow later. Usual suspects, we're going to switch you off for now so you can't see or hear anything. Alistair, when they're like this, you can talk through your answers without giving away any vital knowledge, all right?
Yep.
Each round consists of 4 true or false statements. You'll be answering against the clock and you'll only have 45 seconds. And once you've given an answer, your first answer, it will be locked in.
Yep.
Ready?
OK, yep.
Then let's get started and play Perfection. Round 1, your 45 seconds start now. The fishmonger in Spain is called a pescadero.
Yeah, that's true, I think.
True. Ralph Fiennes stars in the Grand Budapest Hotel.
I've seen the trailer for it, and I think I remember his face, so I'm going to say true for that one.
True. Bulgaria has a land border with France.
No, that's false. I think Bulgaria's too far east.
False. And finally, Goldfinger was Ian Fleming's first James Bond novel.
I think it was Casino Royale, so I think that's false.
False. And with time to spare, you've answered all 4 statements. How did that feel?
Not too bad, actually. Yeah, quite confident on 1 or 2 of those, I think. Yeah.
On 2 of those?
Yeah.
He's sounding confident on all of them, so it'll be interesting to find out. Before we reveal exactly how well you've done, it's time for us to bring back the usual suspects, and don't forget, they will be able to hear you. So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Alistair's answers. Emma, what do you think?
Just mildly questioning A. whether a pescadero is a fishmonger or a fisherman.
What do you think, Joe?
The only one that I may question is B. I know there's a lot of famous people in that film, but I'm not positive Ray Fiennes was in it.
What do you think of these answers, Andy?
I can see nothing wrong with them. I think he's actually achieved perfection.
Well, mixed reviews there from the usual suspects. Let's find out. You need to have answered all 4 statements perfectly to have won the round. Let's find out how many are correct. Congratulations, Alistair, you have achieved perfection. Well, full house, very well done. That's the way to play the game. Let's run through them in more detail, shall we? A fishmonger in Spain is called a pescadero. Is that true or false? It's turned green, so it means it is true. Ray Fiennes stars in the Grand Budapest Hotel. Is that true or false? Yes, it is true. Bulgaria has a land border with France. True or false? Yeah, it's turned red, which means it's false. Land borders with Turkey, Greece, Macedonia, Serbia, and Romania. And finally, Goldfinger was Ian Fleming's first James Bond novel. True or false? It's turned red, which means it's false. Goldfinger was a later novel. His first was
Casino Royale?
Casino Royale, exactly as you said. Very well played, Alistair. As a result of that perfect performance, you've made winning the prize fund a lot easier, and here's how. This is your final board appearing, and these 6 blank spaces need to be filled with subject categories. Here are your final round category options, starting with nicknames, running through Eurotrash, Elvis, and on to Dylan Thomas, with many more in between. Now, because you won the round, you've earned the right to choose the 2 categories to add to the board. If the usual suspects have won the round, they would be choosing the 2 categories, trying to make your life in the final much more difficult. So, which 2 would you like to take into the final?
I'll choose comedy teams.
Comedy teams goes in, and
Cities.
And cities. Great start for you. Terrible start for the usual suspects. We'll see you in round 2, where you might get a look in, although you might not. Cheerio. Right, now they've gone, we can have a little chat about that list. 2 that you're rather keen to avoid.
Noel Coward, a bit before my time, really. And Mahler, I know he's a composer, but I don't really know anything about him.
And the next 2 you'll be choosing?
Maybe Elvis, and maybe nicknames.
All right. Alistair, you've had a great start to the game. If you're ready, let's continue the vibe, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's play round 2. Your 45 seconds starts now. The lyre is a stringed musical instrument.
Yeah, that's definitely true. It's like a harp, I think.
True. Christopher Columbus once visited Australia.
That's false. He was, died a long time before that was discovered.
False. Rimsky-Korsakov wrote Flight of the Bumblebee.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah.
True. And finally, badminton became an official Olympic sport in 2012.
I'm pretty sure that's false because I think Britain won a medal in Beijing. So I think that's false.
False, and with time to spare, you've answered all 4 statements. That sounded like a really positive round again from you
I
there.
got really lucky there. Again, I'm quite confident with that.
Before we reveal how well you've done, it's time for us to bring back the usual suspects. So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Alistair's answers. Joe, what's going on here?
I think he could well have achieved perfection again this round, like he did in the first.
Andy, what do you think?
I think he's achieved perfection again.
Are you going to get a look in at all here, Emma, do you think?
No, I agree with my colleagues. I think that board is perfection.
Alistair, they think you've achieved perfection. Let's find out, shall we? How many are correct? Congratulations, Alistair, you have achieved perfection. Alistair, you're on fire.
I can't believe it.
You're making it look very simple. Let's run through them again, shall we? The lyre is a stringed musical instrument. Is that true or false? Yep, it's true. Christopher Columbus once visited Australia. You said this was false, and of course, it is false. Just the Americas is where he visited, as far as we know. Rimsky-Korsakov wrote Flight of the Bumblebee, and you said this was true, and it is true. Badminton became an official Olympic sport in 2012. True or false? You said that was too late, and it is false because it became an official Olympic sport in 1992.
Oh.
Alistair, as a result of that perfect performance, you've made winning that prize for under £14,000 a little easier. Let's see the final board. 2 subject categories on there chosen by you, and because you won round 2, you get to choose the next 2 as well.
OK, I'll have Elvis.
Elvis goes into the final.
And nicknames.
And nicknames makes it into the final. Are you slightly worried at this stage, usual suspects? I mean, there's a big lump of money there, and he's won the first 2 rounds without you getting a look in at all.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usual suspects, I'm now going to switch you off. We'll see you in the next round. Well done. You got worried, definitely. Well, I'm loath to hold you up as you're on such a roll. Shall we progress?
Yeah.
Let's play round 3. Your 45 seconds starts now. Roald Dahl served as a fighter pilot in World War II.
Yeah, that's true. I read his autobiography. Yeah, that's true.
True. Pterosaurs were dinosaurs that lived underwater.
That's false. They were flying dinosaurs, I think.
False. The sitcom Modern Family is set in New York City.
I think that's false.
False. And with time to spare, Carlos Menem was president of Spain in World War II.
That's false because it was Franco was the dictator at that time, so that's false.
False. And you've answered all 4 statements. What do you think?
See, I don't watch it. I have seen it, but I'm not sure where it's set. But the others I'm confident of, yeah.
Before we reveal exactly how well you've done, time to bring back the usual suspects. What do you think this time, usual suspects? Here are the 4 statements and answers. Andy, can you see a chink of light this time?
Get a gut feeling that A and C may possibly be wrong.
Joe, what do you think?
He could well have got the hat-trick here. He could well have done perfection again.
Hat-trick of perfection's very rare. Emma, do you think he's achieved it?
It looks like perfection to me. There's one I'm not sure about, but that's because I don't know the answer. So.
OK, Alistair, the moment of truth. You need to have answered all 4 statements. What am I telling you for? You've done it twice. Let's see how many are correct. Congratulations, Alistair. You have achieved perfection. Well, that is a rare beast. That's the first time this series that anybody's done 3 in a row. Very, very well played. Let's go through them in more detail. Roald Dahl served as a fighter pilot in World War II. Absolutely true. Pterosaurs were dinosaurs that lived underwater. You said this was false because they fly in the air. It is false because they fly in the air. The sitcom Modern Family is set in New York. You said that was false. Is that true or false? Of course, we now know it is false. It's set in California, in actual fact.
Yeah.
And finally, Carlos Menem was president of Spain in World War II. You said that was false because it was Franco, and it is false. He was president of Argentina from 1989 to 99.
I'd heard the name, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's another cracking round. Very well played. And as a result of that perfect performance, you get to control your final board. Let's take a look at it, shall we? 4 categories already on there, chosen by you, and now you get to complete the board with the last 2 as well.
I'll take Italian.
Italian goes into the final.
And teeth.
And teeth makes it into the final. We now know our 6 final categories. They are comedy teams, cities, Elvis, nicknames, Italian, and teeth. It's a bit worrying, this, usual suspects, don't you think?
Yeah,
Certainly
definitely.
is.
Yeah.
Time to switch you off, and we'll speak to you a little bit later. They're a little bit shell-shocked over there, to be honest. You normally get a look in somewhere along the way. Alistair, having chosen all your own categories, that's as good as it can get, to be honest. You're in with the best of chances. For £14,000, it's time to play the final. So this is the all-important final. If you can achieve perfection, you could be leaving with a prize fund of £14,000. If you fail, you'll be leaving with nothing, which would be great news for the usual suspects, as one of them could be playing for a rollover of £15,000 on the next game. Let's play the final round. Alistair, here are your final 6 categories. You must answer all 6 statements correctly if you want to win the £14,000. Think carefully, there's no time limit, but once you've given an answer, your first answer, it's locked in. Are you ready? Let's reveal your first statement. Please tell me whether you believe it to be true or false. Comedy teams. Matt Lucas was one of the League of Gentlemen.
I'm a huge League of Gentlemen fan, and I could probably list the 4 people that were in it, and one of them wasn't Matt Lucas. That's false.
False. Cities. Vilnius is the capital of Poland.
I've got a Polish colleague, so she'd kill me if I got this wrong. I think Vilnius is in Latvia, and the capital of Poland is Warsaw, so that's false.
False. Elvis. Elvis Presley's middle name was Brian.
I'm pretty confident that it was Aaron, so I think that's false.
False. Nicknames. Ipswich Town FC are known as the Tractor Boys.
I've got a friend who's an Ipswich fan. I think that's true.
True. Italian. The phrase dolce vita can be translated as sweet life.
Dolce latte is the cheese, which is sweet cheese. I think, yeah, dolce is sweet, vita is life. I think that's true.
True. And finally, teeth. The premolars are classified as bicuspid teeth.
The only time I've ever heard bicuspid talked about is in your heart. I think you have valves. I don't really know what it means. I have no idea, to be honest. I'm gonna say that's false.
False. Alistair, those answers are locked in. Remember, if there's one single mistake, you leave with nothing. Which ones are you worried about?
F.
That's it, is it? F. Apart from that, you felt that was a good round, didn't you?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. F's a bit of a guess, to be honest, yeah.
Wow. All right, let's bring back the usual suspects and see what they have to say. Usual suspects, you can now see the final 6 statements, and next to them are Alistair's answers. Alistair, your answers are now locked in and you can't change them by yourself, but if you think you've made a mistake, you can unlock the board with the help of the usual suspects. This will, however, come at a cost. Usual suspects, I'm now going to ask you to tell me how well you think Alistair has done, if you want to help, and if you do, how much it will cost him. Alistair, who would you like to hear from first?
I hear from Emma, please.
There's one that I think is wrong, and I would come down and help you for half the money.
So, £14,000 in the pot, and there's an early offer there from Emma for £7,000 to come down and join you. Would you like to hear from anybody else?
Yeah, can I hear from Joe, please?
I think you've done pretty well on this as well. However, there's 3 questions which I'm not confident on, and therefore I wouldn't like to come down and help you.
OK, Joe's ruling himself out.
OK. Andy, what do you think?
OK, well, I can see one that's definitely wrong. The rest, I think you've done very, very well. I'd be prepared to come down for 8,000.
So Andy wants the lion's share of your prize money at 8,000. Emma will come down for 7,000. Both are claiming you have one wrong. So what do you do from here? Want to negotiate price? Want to go it alone?
Do you know what, Nick? I think I'm going to go it alone.
You think they're bluffing you, do you?
I do, yeah.
All right, well, it appears negotiations have come to an end. Alistair, you've decided to go it alone. £14,000 at stake, 6 answers away. Let's find out if you've achieved perfection. Before we get started, best value offer, I think, was from Emma. Did you actually think there was one that might be wrong? Or is it that you were bluffing a little bit?
I'm afraid I was bluffing at that point.
That's interesting. Andy, bluffing?
Yes, I was bluffing.
Both bluffing? Everybody,
made
well,
the right
look,
choice.
well, you did very well then. They'd have both come down and taken the money off you to change nothing at all. So, let's start at the top and work our way through. Matt Lucas was one of the League of Gentlemen. You're a big fan of
Yeah,
League of Gentlemen,
yeah.
so you know that this is false.
Yeah.
No doubt whatsoever.
No.
It's going to turn red. Is it true or false? Yeah, it is false. Very well done. Matt Lucas, of course, part of Little Britain.
That's right,
famously.
yeah.
Moving on, Vilnius is the capital of Poland. You said you thought this was false. You thought maybe the capital of Poland was Warsaw. Fairly confident on this one?
Yeah.
All right. True or false? False. Vilnius, capital of Lithuania, in fact.
Yeah.
Elvis Presley's middle name was Brian. You said this was false because you think it's Elvis Aaron Presley is what you said. We're expecting this to turn red. True or false? Yes, false. Elvis Aaron Presley is the name, so very well done. Ipswich Town FC are known as the Tractor Boys. You're fairly convinced that they are Tractor Boys. You're expecting this to turn green.
Yeah.
Percentage sure on this one?
About 90, I think.
So we're expecting this to turn green. True or false? True. Wow, that's extraordinary. So far, 16 statements and 16 correct answers. Just 2 to go for a completely correct game and £14,000. The phrase Dolce Vita can be translated as sweet life. You came up with the cheese to help you through this.
Yeah,
Dolce Latte.
Yeah, I think that's sweet cheese or
Sweet
sweet milk
cheese.
or something, so yeah.
So you thought sweet life was probably right. If this turns green, you are 1 away from the £14,000 all on your own. The phrase Dolce Vita can be translated as sweet life. True or false? True. 5 out of 6. Wow. 17 out of 18.
Yeah.
All comes down to this last one. Which was the one you were most worried about?
It was this one, yeah.
The very last one we asked you. The premolars are classified as bicuspid teeth. Now, you said this was false, so we need this to turn red. If it turns green, you've fallen at the last hurdle and the money rolls over the usual suspects, who, let's face it, have been nervous from the first round that the money might be on the way out. So nervous, in fact, the two of them tried to bluff their way into this round here because they think you've got it right. If it turns red, you're about to walk out of here with £14,000. The premolars are classified as bicuspid teeth. You said false. Is it true or false for £14,000? It's true. It's true. Very bad luck. It means you haven't achieved perfection. You won't be taking home the money. It's exceptionally good news for the usual suspects. So I think it's fair to say you thought that had gone then.
Certainly.
Definitely.
As it is, it's good news for you because the prize fund rolls over to the next game where one of you could be playing for a total of £15,000. Alistair, I don't know how to take the sting out of that for you. You played a brilliant game. 17 out of 18 questions asked correctly, and only the very last one where you had to take a guess. You took a guess, and it didn't fall well for you. You could walk away with your head held very high. I hope you enjoyed playing the game at least.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, had really great fun.
Let's hear it for Alistair, everybody, who played such a fantastic game. Really well played. Very close, but not perfection. So it's now time to meet the next usual suspect, hoping to play perfection today. Usual suspect, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Jess. I'm from London and I'm currently studying childhood studies at Bristol.
Welcome, Jess, and best of luck to all of you, especially Emma, as this is your 8th game. Let's find out who's been randomly picked to play perfection. Andy, it's you. Please come down and join me. Andy, welcome to the game. Let's find out a bit more about you. Navy for a long time.
Yeah, 22 years.
Wow. Did it take you a long time for you to stop swaying when you actually finally gave it up and went back on land?
I'm still swaying.
Great way for a young man to get around the world and see bits of the world. You must have seen a fair old part.
Oh, I tell people that I've been to places, seen things and done things that most people wouldn't even dream of.
All right, then. Well, look, listen, Andy, it's now you versus the usual suspects. They were your teammates. They're now very definitely your enemies. Here's the fantastic news. Nobody has won the last 14 games. The prize fund currently stands at £15,000. What did you do with £15,000?
Well, my daughter, I found out about 2 weeks ago, is getting married.
Oh, that's gonna
so
cost.
some of it is going to go towards that.
All right, look, best of luck. 3 rounds of the final to come. Usual suspects, we're going to switch you off for now so you can't see or hear anything. But as soon as Andy makes a mistake, you will be back in the game. Ready to get started?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Then let's play perfection. Round 1, your 45 seconds starts now. Guy Burgess was the BBC's first newsreader.
Oh, that was a bit before my time, but I'll guess at false.
False. The US Supreme Court is based in Miami.
That's false, it's in Washington.
False. Old Man River is a song from the musical Showboat.
Showboat is based on a riverboat on the Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I'll say true.
True. And finally, Alan Border played Test cricket for Australia.
Not knowing anything about cricket whatsoever, true.
True. And with time to spare, you've answered all 4 statements. Well, the first 3 sounded really positive, and last one...
Cricket is not a good subject for me.
Is it not?
No.
We keep losing the ball over the side if you play it on a ship, I suppose, don't you?
We certainly do.
All right, before we reveal how well you've done, it's time for us to bring back the usual suspects. So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Andy's answers. Emma, what do you think? Has he achieved perfection?
Yeah, I think he has on this board.
Joe, can you find anything wrong with these answers?
No, I can't. I would say he has achieved perfection.
Jess, welcome to the game, and do you think there's anything wrong with these answers at all?
I can't see a reason why he wouldn't have got perfection, so...
Well, I'd say that was a vote of confidence in you, Andy. The moment of truth, you need to have answered all 4 statements perfectly to have won the round. Let's find out how many are correct. Congratulations, Andy, you have achieved perfection. Oh, what a cracking cracking start. So let's have a look at those in more detail, shall we? Guy Burgess was the BBC's first newsreader. True or false? False. In fact, he was better known as a spy and not for us, against us. The US Supreme Court is based in Miami. True or false? False. Where did you say you thought it was?
Washington.
Absolutely right. Washington, D.C. Old Man River is a song from the musical Showboat. You thought that was true, and it is true. And Alan Border played Test cricket for Australia. True or false? Yes, absolutely true. So, Andy, as a result of that perfect performance, you've made winning the prize fund a lot easier. Let me show you your final board. These 6 blank spaces need to be filled with subject categories, and here are your final round category options, starting with currencies, running through Formula One, Mount Rushmore, and on to hurdlers, with many more in between. Now, because you won the round, you've earned the right to choose 2 categories to add to the board. So which 2 would you like to play in the final?
Having travelled quite a bit, I think I'd go for currencies.
Currencies goes in, and
I'll go for human body.
And human body goes into the final 2. Usual suspects, I'm now going to switch you off. We'll see you in the next round. Right, let's have a look at that in more detail. Which 2 are you quite keen to avoid?
Well, having already said that I'm not hot on cricket, W.G. Grace would have to be 1. And probably hurdlers.
Right, and 2 you'll be choosing next.
Possibly game shows and TV comedy.
All right, Andy, you've made a great start to the game. We'll just press on, shall we, whilst you're in such a winning mood?
Let's do it.
And play round 2. Your 45 seconds start now. Robusta is one of the main beans used to make coffee.
Well, having drunk a lot of coffee from all over the world, that is true.
True. Falmouth is a town in Cornwall.
Having spent quite a lot of time there while I was on a ship in the Navy, true.
True. Sean Williamson is a UK snooker champion.
Oh, I've not watched UK snooker for quite a long time. The name doesn't ring a bell, so I'm going to say false.
False. And finally, a square is a quadrilateral.
Yes, it is. It's got 4 sides. True.
True. And with time to spare, you've answered all 4. I don't think I'm giving anything away by saying that you'd know about Falmouth.
Yes, especially as I was born and bred in Plymouth as well.
What about the rest of it?
I'm not sure about C. That was really a guess, but the other 3, yeah, I'm confident on those 3.
OK, look, before we reveal how well you've done, it's time for us to bring back the usual suspects. So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Andy's answers. Joe, what do you think's happening here?
Those are all the answers that I would have given as well. I think he may have got perfection again.
Jess, help us out. Surely you can find something wrong with these, can't you?
I can't actually, no. I think Andy has got perfection again.
Emma?
Afraid I'm agreed with the team. I think it's perfection again.
Well, let's find out, shall we? Let's find out how many are correct. Congratulations, Andy, you have achieved perfection. That's extraordinary. In the last game, all 3 rounds, perfection. Now, the first 2 rounds of your game, perfection 2. Let's go through them in more detail, shall we? Robusta is one of the main beans used to make coffee. You like your coffee, you said this was true, and of course it is true. Falmouth is a town in Cornwall. To be honest, you'd have been lynched by your former Navy friends if you'd have got this wrong, not to mention the fact you were born just up the road. So you said this was true, and of course it is true. Sean Williamson is a UK snooker champion. You said false, and it is, of course, false, because he's an actor who played Barry in EastEnders. And finally, a square is a quadrilateral, and you said this was true, and of course it is true. So very well played, Andy. As a result of that perfect performance, you made winning the prize fund of £15,000 that little bit easier. Let's see the final board. 2 subject categories chosen already by you, and because you won that round, you get to choose the next 2 as well.
I think I'll go for game shows.
Game shows goes into the final.
I do like watching them. And TV comedy.
And TV comedy. Well, usual suspects, you're sort of reduced to being spectators at the moment, aren't you? You might get a look in round 3, and that will be your chance to trip him up if you do. In the meantime, we're going to say goodbye, and we'll see you a bit later. Well, I mean, they only get a look in if you give them a look in. You carry on like this, you choose all your own categories, gives you the best possible chance. Ready to carry on?
Let's do it.
Let's play round 3. Your 45 seconds starts now. Sean Penn starred in Dead Man Walking.
I've not seen the movie, but I think that's false.
False. Carrots are technically classified as fruit.
That's false.
False. The ancient city of Tyre was located in Ireland.
No, that was located somewhere on the east end of the Mediterranean, so that is false.
False. And finally, the corolla is the scientific name for a flower's petals.
I believe I've read somewhere that that is true.
True. And you take about the same amount of time on each game, which is just a few seconds left. Your timing is impeccable. Is that round equally impeccable?
Yeah, OK, I'm not sure on A, I'm not totally sure on D, but yeah.
In with a chance.
Yeah.
All right, before we reveal exactly how well you've done, let's chat to those usual suspects. Right, last chance, usual suspects. These were the 4 statements, and next to them are Andy's answers. Jess, any mistakes there?
I really don't think so. I think he's got perfection again.
Joe, can you find something wrong?
I'm really struggling to pick any holes in this round as well.
Emma, anything there?
In the back of my mind, something telling me that A is wrong, but I'm not so sure.
All right, you need to have answered all 4 statements perfectly to have won the round, Andy. Let's find out how many are correct. Three out of 4 is not bad, but it's not perfection. You have let your enemies, the usual suspects, into the game. What you need to do is change one answer, but which one, usual suspects?
I think A. I think you might be right.
I'm not sure on that either. I think it's a good shout anyway.
OK, Nick, can we change A from false to true?
A changes from false to true, leaving B, C and D as answered by Andy. All right, usual suspects, let's find out what the correct answers are. Sean Penn starred in Dead Man Walking. This is the key one. Is it true or false? It is true. Very well played, usual suspects. Let's press on. Carrots are technically classified as fruit. Is that true or false? It is false. Of course it is. They are root vegetables. The ancient city of Tyre was located in Ireland. True or false? Yes, false. It was in the Middle East, as you said, Lebanon now, in actual facts. The corolla is the scientific name for a flower's petals. True or false? Absolutely true. Congratulations, usual suspect. You have achieved perfection. Right, well, Andy, the usual suspects have succeeded where you failed, and they've stolen the round. The only one in the entire show to have been stolen. Usual suspects, you now have the opportunity to make Andy's chances of winning the prize fund that little bit harder. Let's see the final board. Now, first of all, categories chosen by yourself, but because the usual suspects won the last round, you have the right to choose the last 2 categories to add to the board. What do you want to do?
About celeb
Yeah,
marriage.
celeb marriage.
That's one that stood
Jumping
out
out, yeah.
That stood out to me too, yeah.
OK, Nick, we'll take celeb marriage.
Celeb marriage goes in, and one more.
Superheroes?
Superheroes, I'd go with that one too.
Yeah, I think so. Superheroes.
OK, and superheroes, please, Nick.
And superheroes makes it into the final. We now know our 6 final categories. They are currencies, human body, game shows, TV comedy, celeb marriage, and superheroes. Well played, usual suspects. Time to switch you off for the final time. We can talk about that now. Celeb marriage
I'm sure I can muddle through on that one.
and superheroes.
Superheroes, I was actually thinking of choosing myself.
Well, this is interesting, isn't it? £15,000 up for grabs. Ready?
Yeah.
It's time to play the final. Andy, this is the all-important final. If you can achieve perfection, you could be leaving with a prize of under £15,000. If you fail, you'll be leaving with nothing, which is great news for the usual suspects, as one of them could be playing for a rollover of £16,000 on the next game. Let's play the final round. Andy, here are your 6 categories. You must answer all 6 statements correctly if you want to win the £15,000. Think carefully, there's no time limit, but once you've given an answer, your first answer, it will be locked in. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's reveal your first statement. Please tell me whether you believe it to be true or false. Currencies. Andorra's currency is the krona.
I believe Andorra has gone with the rest of Europe and is currently using the euro, so I will say that one is false.
False. Human body. The anterior cruciate ligament is found in the knee.
OK, I'll guess on that one at true.
True. Game shows. Bruce Forsyth hosted a version of The Price is Right.
I don't think Bruce Forsyth did, so I'll say false.
False. TV comedy. Would I Lie to You is hosted by Dara O'Brien.
Oh, I've not seen that one. So again, this is going to be a complete guess. False.
False. Celeb Marriage, the first of the categories chosen for you. Cher was once married to Paul Newman.
I don't think Cher was ever married to Paul Newman, so I'll say false.
False. And finally, superheroes. Oliver Queen is the alter ego of the hero Green Arrow.
I've never heard of Oliver Queen. Green Arrow. False.
False. And with that, you've answered all 6 statements, and those answers are locked in. Remember, if there's one single mistake, you leave with nothing. Which ones are you worried about?
Certainly B,
Uh-huh.
D,
Yep.
and I'm not too sure about F.
B, D, and F. OK, let's bring back the usual suspects and see what they have to say. Usual suspects, you can now see the final 6 statements, and next to them are Andy's answers. Andy, your answers are now locked in, and you can't change them by yourself. But if you think you may have made a mistake, you can unlock the board with the help of the usual suspects. This will, however, come at a cost. Andy, who would you like to hear from first?
Well, I think I'll go left to right. I'll start with Jess. What do you think, Jess?
There's one question on there that's wrong. But to be honest, none of them are strong subjects for me, so I wouldn't like to come down.
OK, so Jess is out of the equation.
OK, what about Joe?
How many questions, sorry, are you 100% on?
I'm 100% on 4.
There's one that I'm 100% that you've definitely got wrong, but there's another one that I'm really not sure about. And if it's the same one as you, then there's a chance we could both go away with nothing. So unfortunately, I'm going to say no this time. I'm not going to come down to help.
OK, Emma?
Well, I'm also pretty sure you've got one wrong, and I would be willing to come down and help. Make me an offer.
How much would you be prepared to come down for?
5,000?
She'd like £5,000 of your £15,000, obviously leave you with £10,000 to come down and help you out.
OK,
Happy with that?
come on down.
For £5,000, Emma, of the £15,000, negotiations have been agreed. Come down and join us. OK, Andy, you asked Emma for help. If you achieve perfection, it will cost you £5,000 of your £15,000 prize fund. Emma, this is your only chance at winning perfection. Have you made the right decision? I think we're about to find out. This is your 8th game. If Andy hadn't have asked you to come down and join, that would have been it. You'd been out.
Bus fare home.
Yes. Which makes it particularly generous, I think, when you actually asked to come down for £5,000. Because, to be honest, she was on a hiding to nothing, and you could have forced her down to 500 quid.
I could have.
But
But the way I see it is, without her help, I'd be going home with nothing.
because you think there's a couple wrong.
Yes.
All right, then. Emma, tell us now, were you bluffing, or do you think there might be some wrong?
I was bluffing, but I'm not sure. I don't know for certain you have one wrong.
That's a little uncomfortable, isn't it? So all 6 answers are now unlocked. So I imagine it's a good idea for you to have a discussion about these.
A, I'm certain with. B is a guess. C is a sort of educated guess.
I think you're right. I don't have any recollection of him ever
No, I don't.
posting it.
D, I don't know. E, I'm reasonably certain.
E is correct. Yeah, she was never married to Paul Newman.
That's what I thought. And F, again, I'm reasonably certain.
That's one I would have no idea about. So D, I think you have right. I think
D?
it's hosted by Rob Brydon,
OK.
which leaves us with B. I think that's right. I think it is in the knee. It's just an injury you hear about footballers having a lot, isn't it? You imagine.
OK, we'll leave them as they are.
OK, lock them all in as they are. Andy, you feel you get your money's worth there?
I'll let you know at the end.
£15,000 at stake, £10,000 to Andy, £5,000 to Emma. 6 answers away. Let's find out if you've achieved perfection. Let's find out from Jess and Joe. Now, both of them said they thought there was one wrong, but they weren't prepared to come down and help out because they didn't know too much about the rest. Jess, which were you worried about?
I was worried about F. I don't really know anything about superheroes, but for some reason, yeah, I don't know, it just jumped out at me.
All right, well, it's not a solid worry, that, is it? Joe?
C, I'm pretty positive they've got it wrong. I remember Bruce's Price is Right pretty well from when I was younger.
So C and F between you are the ones that you're worried about. All right, let's start at the top. Andorra's currency is the krona. Andy, you thought this was false. You think they're on the euro, so we need this to turn red for you to get you off to a good start. Is it true or false? Yeah, it is false. Very well played. And, of course, it is the euro. You're quite right. All right, so the anterior cruciate ligament is found in the knee. You said true. Emma thought that it might be the knee, so you stuck with it. You need this to turn green. Is it true or false? It is true. Very well done. All right, let's move on. C's one of the ones the usual suspects I mentioned, and I'm tempted to leave C and F till last to find out whether they're right or you are. Would I Lie to You is hosted by Dara O'Brien. You said this was false, and Emma was convinced this was false. You thought it was...
Rob Brydon?
Rob Brydon who presents this. Well, so we're expecting this to turn red for you and get you halfway to the money. Is that true or false? Yeah, it is false. Very well done. Since 2009, it's been hosted by Rob Brydon. Cher was once married to Paul Newman. Now, this was one of the subject categories chosen for you by the usual suspects. You went for false. We need this to turn red. If it turns red, you are just 2 away from the £15,000. Cher was once married to Paul Newman. True or false? False. Very well played. Sonny Bono and Greg Allman were the 2 people that she married, but not Paul Newman. Right, so now we're down to the 2 that the usual suspects between them had doubts about. Back to Bruce Forsyth, who hosted a version of The Price is Right. Now, Andy, you said he presented many game shows, but that wasn't one of them. Emma thought that was the case as well, so you stuck with false. We need this to turn red. If it turns red, you are 1 away from the £15,000. If it turns green, the money rolls over for the usual suspects. This was the one that Joe had doubts about. So let's find out. Bruce Forsyth hosted a version of The Price is Right. You need this to turn red because you said false. Is it true or false to get you 1 away from the £15,000? It's true. Yeah, I'm afraid it is true. Bruce Forsyth was the host of a version of The Price is Right from 1995 to 2001. Well, that's a shame. It means that you can't achieve perfection and you won't be taking the money home. I wonder whether you can still achieve perfection at home. Let's take a look. This was the one that Jess had doubts about. Oliver Queen is the alter ego of the hero Green Arrow. You said you had doubts about this yourself.
Yeah.
But when Emma came down, you chose not to change it. Oliver Queen is the alter ego of the hero Green Arrow. True or false? True in the end, so I'm afraid you don't take the cash home. Usual suspects. That's good news for you. The prize fund rolls over to the next game where one of you could be playing for a total of £16,000. Well, it was a pretty good run. Emma, you had a chance to come down and join in, which I thought was actually very generous, to be honest, of Andy in the end. 15 out of 18 statements asked had correct answers. You played a very good game there, Andy. Doesn't turn into cash, unfortunately, but I hope you enjoyed playing the game.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Thank you, Emma.
Yes, thank you.
Smash it. Let's hear it for Andy and Emma, everybody. Well, that's all we have time for. Please join us next time when our usual suspects have the chance to play again, this time for £16,000. It's a fair old pot, isn't it? But remember, on this show, we only pay for absolute perfection. Goodbye.